It was still early, so we decided to go to the Mariposa Grove of giant sequoias. There are some 500 sequoias here, the oldest over 3,000 years old. The tallest is almost 300 feet, and they average about 15 feet in diameter and weigh in at 2 million pounds. These are massive trees. I've seen some tall trees down in the Congaree Swamp, and big trees up in Glacier and Olympic National Park, but nothing quite as massive as these. They're simply the largest living things on Earth. This is a pretty famous picture from 1899 showing the U.S. cavalry standing on the fallen monarch. 100 years later, the tree is still there, a little bit worse for wear, but I'd be happy if I survived in that condition for 100 years.
And the only way you can video is from top to bottom.
The reason these giants weren't ravaged by the early settlers of California is that sequoia makes for really crappy building materials. The high amount of minerals in the wood make it brittle, as can be witnessed by the fallen trees scattered throughout the grove. I'll bet these things make some noise when they fall, no one around or not. And while most trees have signs saying not to approach, there are some that are still open to the tourists. Well, the sun had already set over the mountains, we had no flashlights, and the trail's at 6,000 feet above sea level, and it goes up, both ways. We called it a day and headed for the hotel. I tried to get a room at one of the hotels in Yosemite Valley, but the only one available was at the Ahwahnee. Now I know things are a little bit pricey here, but at the bargain 2005 price of $379 plus 9.7% tax, I decided staying in Yosemite Valley wasn't that important. So I booked a room at the Wawona, a historic mountain resort within the park's boundaries. The particular building we stayed in was built in 1877, but you know, when you replace this and install plumbing, replace that and install electricity, and replace the other thing and install heat, how much is really left from 150 years ago? Apparently, not much. As of late 2024, the hotel has been closed because of significant structural problems. Well, because of the construction, I had missed the experience of having an adult beverage on the porch. I even had to pay an extra $55.25 for a room with a bathroom, rather than having to run out to a communal bathroom in the middle of the night. But the next morning it was in the low 30s, and it was worth every dollar. Here's the interesting part. I had to sign a document that said I would remove all of the food, including unopened bottles and cans, all drinks, including all unopened bottles and cans, any ice chests, even if they were empty, any scented items like toothpaste, soap, and sunscreen, and all the trash from the car. If I didn't, my car could be towed and I could be fined up to $5,000. That's 90 bathrooms at Wawona.
I like it. I like variety. Nights, mornings, this, that. You get a better perspective. Then you get over there, then you kind of get both sides.
Let's see, it's 8:41 Chicago time, or it's 8:41 California time. 3,463.9 miles on the odometer. Leaving Wawona, going northbound on California something. In Yosemite National Park. This is September 16th?
17th.
17th? September 17th. Day like 12 or something like that. I've lost track. Too bad. We're on our way to Glacier Point.
And now it's 39 degrees.
And it's 39 degrees and it was a lot colder this morning.
Shorts were fine for you yesterday.
They were. Shorts will probably be fine for me like past noon today too. Does that mean we have to drain our tank?
Because he's going to Glacier Point too.
I guess so. Well, at least there's nobody behind me anymore. So.
There are several pull-offs on Glacier Point Road, some of which provide amazing views of the valley. You hear a distant roar, and it sometimes takes a bit to realize you're seeing several waterfalls far off in the distance.
The top falls is Nevada,
Mm-hmm.
the big one. And then the bottom one is Vernal.
Okay.
Okay. It's a female quail.
Yeah, probably good eating anyway.
It's a 32-mile drive from Yosemite Valley to Glacier Point, but you end up at a place that's 3,200 feet above the valley, with Half Dome on one end and Yosemite Falls on the other. We were there in the late fall, so the snowmelt was gone and there were no falls, but if there were falls, I could say it was the highest fall in America. Glacier Point itself looks over the Yosemite Valley. It's sort of scary when you look over the edge and see a sheer drop of 3,000 feet. Captain Obvious points out that popular viewpoints in this or any other park are popular. However, for the car tourist, the bane of these spots is the tour bus. 50 tourists can get off of one with no place to go. When there's a lot of buses, it multiplies quickly. I mean, I do get it. Fewer cars in the park, which is a good thing. But it can get overwhelming in certain spots.
thinking of it.
The Wawona Tunnel is about a mile long. At the east end of the tunnel is a pull-off called Tunnel View because, well, I guess it was a convenient name.
Oh God, there's a tour bus, but at least pull out over here and across the street.
This was one of the views that Ansel Adams immortalized on film of the Yosemite Valley. The trick here is to be at the viewpoint between tourist buses. Bridalveil Falls may not look like it, but it's 620 feet high. The winds caused the Bridalveil River to flow off the rock, causing an ever-changing view of the falls. There was a short, easy trail to the base of the falls, so we decided to go for a walk.
Yes, the guy says that water looks really cold. He said it is. Wait, what's this?
We stopped in Yosemite Valley again on the way out of the park, spending a little more time than we did the day before. Pretty deep water.
Yeah, if they think food's there, I'm sure they can cruise pretty darn quick.
Almost 1 o'clock. Keep getting higher.
Something Freudian about this. Kind of cool out here. There's a climber up there too. Big ass leg.
We would take a look at Mona Lake and spend the night in Lee Vining before heading into Nevada and the Great Basin Desert. But that's the next video. Link is above or in the description. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Especially subscribe.